Our daughter Grayson Taylor Bond was diagnosed with hypoplastic left heart syndrome about a month before she was born. She was born 6 months premature and then brought to Children's Hospital in New Orleans. The treatment for hypoplastic left heart syndrome is a series of 3 operations that reroute the blood flow of the heart to make the right side work for the left. In a hypoplastic baby, the left side of the heart the left ventricle is smaller than what it's supposed to be, or virtually non-existent. Grayson had her first surgery when she was 2 weeks old. She was in the hospital for about 3 months after the surgery. She was able to go home, and then at 6 months she had her second surgery. Her second surgery, something went wrong with it, and she had to be operated on again a couple of days later. After the third surgery, her oxygen saturation levels dropped into the low 30s. For a normal person, it's in the upper 90s up to 100. She turned really blue. She looked like death was on her face. We thought she was going to die. But the doctors at Children's, the nurses, the therapists, and people all over praying for her brought her back. She was able to go home. And she was home until January of this year. On January 4th, she aspirated, she coded, she had a stroke. She was rushed to Ochsner Hospital and then transferred to Children's. While recovering at Children's, she had a low immune system. She caught several infections. One of them was a fungal infection that has an 80% mortality rate for children, but the doctors at Children's Hospital were able to cure her, and she was eventually able to go home after a 3-month stay. She was home for a couple of weeks, and then they discovered a blood clot in her heart. So she was back in the hospital again, and she caught a couple more infections while she was there, but they cured her. She went home, and then she was home for a while, and then she started having problems with her oxygen saturation level again. She started turning blue again, and they realized she was having congestive heart failure. So she was back in the hospital again. They stabilized her with medications, but the right side of her heart is failing now. And the only cure for Grayson, the only hope for her to live, is to have a heart transplant. There's no hospital in Louisiana that does heart transplants on babies. So we were recommended to go to a hospital in Birmingham that does transplants. For the transplant, we have to be there within at least an hour of the hospital, so we have to move. And then we'll have to be there for about 6 months after the surgery for all the doctor's visits she's going to have. It's a long road for her, but I have every faith that my daughter's going to survive. There's an old saying, man proposes, but God disposes. When we had so many plans when we first found out Grayson we were going to have a baby, when we found out about her medical condition, everything changed. Our whole lives changed. It was like an atomic bomb had been dropped in our lives. But Grayson has been a blessing to us. No matter everything we've been through, I wouldn't change anything. I love my daughter. I will do anything to help her survive, and we will get her to adulthood.